sign is there, so we would have taken imaginary of this complete term. So I mean e per j omega t you would be getting, then you would have taken only the imaginary part. If you are taking only the imaginary part of this, we would have getting this expression. Okay, so here the current can be written as Im e per j omega t into e per j theta, and here the voltage can be given as C into dV by dt. So that V is represented here Vm e per j omega t. So here it is a differential one. So if you differentiate this, then you will be getting j omega e per j omega t. Then the common terms are e per j omega t. You cancel both of these things on the right hand side and left hand side. If you cancel out those, you will be getting Im into e per j theta is equal to j omega c into Vm. Okay, so here you can see there is some j term. So now, so if you represent this in terms of polar form, we can be writing this as one angle 90 degree, right? So now, so this is like, if you write represent this in phasor or polar form, you can write it as Im angle theta, which is equal to 1 angle 90 degree omega c into Vm. This is what we will get, right? So now this is the magnitude and this is the angle. So we are going to relate the magnitude and angle on the left hand side and right hand side. So this Im angle theta will be equal to Vm divided by 1 by omega c. Here 1 by omega c is written from this. Instead of omega c, we have taken Vm divided by 1 divided by omega c. Okay, so both are same, omega c and 1 divided by omega c if you represent. So if you take this to the numerator, you will be getting omega c into Vm. So same thing we have done here. So Vm divided by 1 by omega c you will be getting, then this 1 angle 90 degree that we have written at the last. So now you are having one magnitude Im and we are getting one angle. So similarly on the right hand side, we are getting one magnitude and we are getting one angle. So what we are going to do, we are going to compare the magnitude on both the sides and we are going to compare the angle on both the sides. So if you compare, Im can be given by this expression, that is the magnitude that is given by this expression, and this theta can be represented by this angle that is 90 degree. Okay, so this is in terms of peak value. Now obviously, as we have told here, we are going to give importance to the effective value rather than the peak value. So the I phasor can be represented by V phasor divided by 1 by j omega c. So this is going to be giving the RMS value, obvious, and this I is also is going to be in RMS value. Now this j, again you can keep it here itself, no issues. So I have taken it to the denominator, but actually you can keep it there itself. So you could have got 1 angle 90 degree here itself. Or in another way, you can take the j term also in this expression. Then if you take it like this, 1 by omega c can be written as xc, that is called as capacitive reactance. Okay, so here 1 by omega c is written as xc, and already you are having 1 by j, 1 by j into 1 by omega c, where j is equal to 1 angle 90 degree. So if it is in 1 by j, you can write it as 1 angle minus 90 degree. Okay, so that's what it is written here, xc angle minus 90 degree. So this 90 degree, you take it to the numerator, you will be getting I phasor is equal to V phasor angle plus 90 degree divided by xc. Okay, the unit of this 1 by omega c, so the unit of this omega 1 by omega c is called as capacitive reactance. So this is almost like a resistance, but here the unit is not a resistance, because here in this capacitive reactance we are also having one j term. So that j term is the rotational operator. Since we are having a rotational operator, we cannot call this as a resistor. Here we have to call it as a reactance. Okay, so this xc magnitude alone, you can say it as a 1 by omega c, whereas the complete part you can consider it as a rotating one. So that is given by this j term. Okay, so you can see that here I is I I is the phasor and V is the phasor. So now I phasor and V phasor divided by XC angle minus 90 degree. So this I phasor can be written as some RMS value into angle theta, and one angle theta, that can be, this voltage can be written as V, V in RMS divided by XC angle minus plus 90 degree. Okay, so now we can again compare this magnitude and the angle. So if you compare the magnitude and the angle, I can be given by V divided by XC, and theta is given by angle 90 degree. Okay, when we started with the resistive circuit, that time the angle was 0 degree. When we saw inductive circuit, the angle was minus 90 degree, and when we saw capacitive circuit, we got angle as plus 90 degree. So from where this angle is coming? If you see, the angle is coming only from the j omega term. For inductive circuit, we had got j omega L. For capacitive circuit, we got 1 by j omega C. So because of this rotating operator only, we are going to get this angle. So whenever you are having inductive or capacitive circuit, you are going to have certain angle difference between the voltage and current. Okay, so here the voltage angle is 0 degree, V angle 0 degree, because here we have taken Vm sin omega t. So the voltage reference angle is 0 degree, whereas the current is leading the voltage by 90 degree, because we are getting plus 90 degree, as we had said yesterday, that if you are having a voltage reference, that is V angle 0, that is the reference, then you have to draw the current. So you can see the current is having some magnitude, that is given by V divided by XC, whereas it is having a rotation of 90 degree. Okay, since it is plus 90 degree, we have yesterday discussed that in the for the plus rotation, you have to move it in the anti-clockwise direction, and it is 90 degree. We have moved in the anti-clockwise direction, and this is having the magnitude of I angle 90 degree, or in another way you can write it as I phasor. Okay, so this 90 degree plus 90 degree or minus 90 degree is given by the rotational operator, that is J. So since the rotational operator is not there for the resistive circuit, we are having 0 degree for the current also. So you can say that the current is in phase in resistive circuit. Okay, so with this, let us proceed. So I phasor, as I discussed before, I phasor can be given by V phasor divided by XC angle minus 90 degree. So here this minus 90 degree, you take it to the numerator. So I angle theta is equal to V divided by XC angle 90 degree. Then I is equal to V divided by XC, that is the magnitude. So either you can write it as V omega C, also you can also write it as V divided by 1 by omega C. Okay, this is for some representation, so they are using like this. Okay, so here the angle is 90 degree. So as we discussed before, the phasor diagram should be drawn like this. If you are taking the voltage as reference, the current will be leading the voltage by 90 degree, or in another way you can say that the voltage is lagging the current by 90 degree. So what is this voltage? This is the voltage across the capacitor. So you always keep it in mind that voltage across the capacitor is lagging the current which is passing through it by 90 degree. So you keep it in mind, even though we have taken a simple circuit. So for this circuit, obviously this voltage and capacitor voltage will be same, but when we are going forward, we will not be seeing that source voltage will be equal to the voltage across the capacitor or inductor. So what I want to say is, always we have to focus on the capacitor voltage and the current flowing through it, the inductor voltage and the current flowing through it, not the source voltage. Okay, so that's what I wanted to let you know. So here, if you draw it in sinusoidal fashion, so you will be getting V is equal to Vm sin omega t. That will be exactly at 0, because the angle difference is 0, because here we are getting 0 degree. Okay, then we are from this expression we can write I magnitude. So I is equal to Vm divided by Xc. This is the magnitude, and it is having a phase shift of 90 degree, and it is plus 90 degree. So the waveform will be starting in front. So 90 degree, there will be a positive phase shift because I is leading the voltage by 90 degree. So your current waveform would have started 90 degree before the voltage waveform. So that's why if you compare the positive slope of these two waveforms, you will be getting 90 degree phase shift. Okay. So here, so this is the peak value because it is mentioned as Vm. So if you want to represent in terms of RMS value, you can mention it as root 2 into RMS value divided by XC. And this is the generalized expression. So here this theta is given by 90 degree. Okay. So keep it in mind, in sinusoidal steady state analysis, the current flows through the capacitor always leads the voltage across the capacitor by 90 degree. Okay, or you can also say that the voltage lags the current by 90 degree. So to summarize whatever we have seen in the last two classes, if you are having a resistor like this and if some voltage is there across the resistor, the current flowing through that can be defined just by I is equal to V by R. So if V is equal to Vm sin omega t, then I can be given by V divided by R. So this is magnitude that is given by Vm divided by R. So the current can be written as I is equal to Im sin omega t. So this is a time domain. What do you mean by time domain? Here your waveform is changing with respect to the time directly. So you can call it as a time domain. If the t changes, your magnitude of V and I changes. So in phasor domain, actually phasor domain is also called as a frequency domain. Okay, so that you will be studying in detail in the networks and system subject. We are not going to see much into that, but the phasor domain you can also consider like a frequency domain. So here we are considering two things where the omega is constant and e power j omega t is also always there. Okay, so we are suppressing it just to make our calculation simpler. This is going to involve the rotating phasor, or this is going to be responsible for the rotating phasor. So I can be given by V divided by R angle 0 degree. So this is I phasor. So this is RMS voltage and this is the resistance. So I phasor can be written as I angle theta, which is given by V by R. This is the magnitude value and theta value. So if you compare the magnitude and the theta on the left hand side and right hand side, you will be getting I is equal to V by R. This is the RMS value and theta is equal to 0 degree. Okay. So similarly, for an inductor, the inductor voltage across the inductor can be given by V is equal to L into dA by dt. So if you consider V is equal to Vm sin omega t, then from this expression, as per our previous knowledge, I can be written as Vm divided by XL sin omega t minus 90 degree. Okay, so this is in time domain. So XL can be written as omega into L. This is called as inductive reactance, and this is peak value. The RMS can be written by V is equal to Vm divided by root 2. So in phasor domain, I phasor is equal to V phasor divided by j omega L. This I phasor can be written like this, and this is V angle 0 degree because we have taken that Vm sin omega t. So we got V angle 0 degree. Then in the denominator, we are getting j omega L. This j is the rotating operator. So this j can be written as 1 angle 90 degree, that is written here. Then V divided by j omega L, that is the magnitude. So if you compare the magnitude and angle on both the sides, you will be getting minus 90 degree here. So magnitude is V divided by omega L, the angle is minus 90 degree. Okay. So for capacitor also, again we are considering V is equal to Vm sin omega t. If you differentiate the capacitor voltage, so we will be getting differentiation of this, you can do it, and the I can be given by Vm divided by Xc and sin omega t plus 90 degree we will be getting finally. So if you write this in the time domain, we will be getting V I phasor is equal to V phasor divided by 1 by j omega c. So with this, we will be getting, finally we will be getting V phasor divided by Xc angle 90 degree. So this is I angle theta if you represent in magnitude and angle. So this will be coming as some magnitude with some angle. So now I can be given as V divided by Xc and theta can be written as 90 degree plus 90 degree. So if you draw the phasor diagram, I mean, if you draw the phasor diagram, so you will be getting voltage like this for resistive circuit, and your current also will be like this for resistive circuit. For an inductive circuit, if you are taking V angle 0 degree as reference, then your current will be lagging the voltage by 90 degree exactly. Okay, so this is I angle minus 90 degree. So or also you can call it as I phasor, and this you can call it as a V phasor. So this is across the voltage across the inductor and current passing through the inductor. Similarly, for a capacitor, we are getting V as reference. This is V angle 0 degree. For this, the current is leading the voltage by 90 degree. So the angle is 90 degree. Then here you are getting I angle plus 90 degree. Okay, so for plus, we moved in the anti-clockwise direction. For minus, we moved in the clockwise direction. Okay, so this is just for the summarize, nothing new in this. So with this, if you are having any doubt, you ask, else let us proceed for the further circuits. Okay, so the basics we have seen, everything after this will be like a mere application of what we have seen in R, L and C circuits. Okay, we are going to club R, RL, RC and RLC in order to get the final expression. That's what we are going to see. You just understand what is lagging and what is leading, why it is lagging in what is leading in inductive circuit and what is lagging in inductive circuit. Similarly, for capacitor circuit, you understand. Okay, so of course you would have studied this in your 12th standard. At least some basics you would have studied, even though they would not have directly mentioned like this, but you would have studied for sure. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you ask, or let me proceed further. Okay, fine. So consider a series RL circuit. In series RL circuit, what we are having is, we are having one resistor and one inductor in series. So, and we are having a source voltage. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to apply KVL for this particular circuit, and then we are going to analyze with the phases. That's what we are going to do. Okay. So, our objective is to find the current in steady state. Okay, so if you write KVL equation here, the KVL equation, the voltage can be written as V is equal to IR plus L into dI by dt. So this is very simple KVL equation. The voltage across the inductor can be given by L into dI by dt, and voltage across the resistor can be given by VR is equal to I into R. Right, you know this of course. So that's what we have written. The source voltage is V, that is considered as a source, and for other thing, if you are writing a KVL, you will be considering it as a load. So this is voltage drop, and source voltage is the voltage rise. So IR plus L into dI by dt, L into dI by dt you will be getting. Then again, from our previous knowledge, we need, if we are applying V is equal to Vm sin omega t, that is the source voltage, and we so this can be written as e per j omega t Vm. Then we are taking only the imaginary of it. If you are taking only the imaginary of it, we will be getting this part, right? So that is applied here. So similarly, for current you can apply, and this current can be given by Im into sin omega t plus theta. Okay, so our motive is to obtain the Im and theta with respect to the voltage. That's what we are going to do. So I can be written as I is equal to imaginary of Im e per j theta into e per j omega t, that we have discussed. Why we j e per j theta is there and why e per j omega t is there, that we have already discussed. So here on the left hand side, we are getting Vm e per j omega t. So I, we have seen what is I, and what is here, this is also I. Here the same current is flowing through both R and L. So the same Im e per j omega t and e per j omega t that we have represented here, this is I and this is also I. Okay, so now Again, this e per j omega t is going to be like a rotating vector. So here you first differentiate this step. So once you differentiate L into dA by dt, that is the differential. You want to remove the differential. So you first differentiate it. So once you differentiate it, so here this e per j omega t is a variable. So j omega, you will be getting j omega into e per j omega t. So after you differentiate, you cancel the common terms. You will be getting something like this. So Vm is equal to Im into e per j theta into r. So this is I into R and this is L into dA by dt. So here we will be getting L into j omega, L into j omega into Im into e power j theta. Okay. So now here Im into e power j theta is common for both the terms. So you are taking Im into e power j theta as common. So you will be getting R plus j omega L. So now what do we need? We need to find this Im and theta. So you keep this term on one side and take the remaining things on the other side. So if you take like this, we will be getting some expression like this. You just take this to the left hand side and you rearrange this equation. We will be getting one expression like this. So here two things are there. One is magnitude and another one is theta. So from this equation, we can find the magnitude as well as the angle. Okay, from where we will be getting the angle, we are getting R plus j omega L. We are having R plus j omega L. This is having a magnitude. Also, this is having an angle because this is in rectangular form. If you convert that to polar form, you will be easily understanding it that there is a magnitude and angle for it. Okay. So now if you represent this in phasor form, for here I have represented only for the voltage and current, I have represented in phasor. So this it's again in rectangular form. Again you can convert this, that we will see it later. But this V is the voltage phasor and this I is the current phasor. So this is the impedance that is available in the circuit. The impedance can be given by R plus j omega L. For the inductive circuit, we will be getting the impedance, that is Z. Z is equal to R plus j omega L, that is given here. Okay, so we have obtained KVL for this loop and we have written this equation. So now even for the phasor, we can obtain the KVL equation. So in order to represent that only, I have written here. So here you are having R. So earlier you have written this as L. In phasor domain, you have to multiply this j omega L also with the inductor. Okay, so this is frequency domain. Why in frequency domain you will be having j omega with respect to the inductor, and why you are multiplying it, that you will see in the next semester networks and system subject. So as of now, if it is an inductor in time domain, you can write it as j omega in j omega L in frequency domain, and if you are having capacitance value C, that you can write it as 1 by j omega C in the, if you are having 1 by C, you can write it as 1 by j omega C in the frequency domain. Okay, so this is for the capacitance and this is for the inductance. Okay, so now let us proceed with this. So here j omega L, we have written it as like this. For instead of inductor, we have written like this. Then resistor, we have written as it is. Then if you are applying voltage phasor, you will be getting the current phasor in the circuit. Okay, so with this, we are having two things. So Im e power j theta is equal to Vm divided by R plus j omega L. Okay, so now if you want to segregate the magnitude and the angle, so Vm divided by root of R square plus omega L the whole square. So this is the magnitude of this, and the angle can be written by tan inverse of omega L divided by R. So imaginary term divided by the real term, you will be getting. So this is nothing but theta. So you can consider it as angle theta. So this theta can be written as tan inverse of omega L divided by R. So now this theta is in the denominator, plus theta is in the denominator, that you can take it to the numerator, that is given by angle minus theta. Okay, so now, so this is the magnitude. So this is the peak magnitude and this is the phase displacement between the voltage and current. Okay, so from this we are going to write this expression. So this is the peak value we have written in the previous slide, and this theta can be written by tan inverse of omega L divided by R. Why we have got negative is we got minus theta in the numerator, that's why we got negative here. Okay, so now the point you need to understand is here when you are having an RL circuit, so whenever you are having an inductive part, the current will be lagging the voltage by certain angle. So when it is a pure inductor, this angle is 90 degree, that is minus 90 degree. Whereas when you are having R and L, you will be having some angle between 0 to 90 degree in negative value, but it will be somewhere between 0 to 90 degree. Okay, so always when you are having an inductive circuit, the current will be lagging the voltage by some angle that will be lesser than 90 degree. Okay, so that is the conclusion from this. The current in the inductive circuit always lag the voltage by some angle 90 degree. So what is this current and what is this voltage? So if you see here, so here you are having a voltage source, then you are having a resistor, then you are having an inductor. So if you tell that, if you are relating the voltage magnitude of the source with the current coming out of this source, then for this circuit you will be getting voltage leads current by some angle theta, or you can say that the I lags voltage by some angle theta. So here the point to be noted here is we are talking about source voltage and the source current. But when you are talking about inductor voltage and inductive current, again, if you are talking only about the inductive voltage and inductive current, here if you are relating VL and the current flowing through this, here it is always the current. Okay, we consider as voltage. So the current always lags the voltage by angle 90 degree. This is inductor voltage and the current flowing through this. When you are relating inductor voltage and the current flowing through this, the angle between the voltage and current is 90 degree. When you are seeing from source point of view, then the source voltage always leads the current by some angle 90 degree. It is not exact 90 degree. Okay, so that is only the difference. Here the difference is in the source side you will be getting voltage leads the current by some angle, but when you are seeing only in the inductive perspective, there the voltage across the inductor always lags the current by exact the voltage across the inductor leads the current by 90 degree exactly. Okay, so now if you draw the phasor diagram for this, so let us draw it separately. Actually, it is already drawn. Let us draw it separately. Okay, here you are having a circuit like this. Here you are having a circuit like this. Here we have to take a reference. How to take a reference? Okay, we will be taking like this. This is V source voltage, and one current is flowing through that. That is I. This is R, and this is J omega L. The same current is flowing here. So whichever is considered as the same here for the series circuit, current is same, so you take current as reference. If it is a parallel circuit, you take voltage as a reference because voltage is same for all the elements. So here I am taking current as reference, I as reference. Okay, so now if you see this phasor value, so you will be getting, this is peak value, we will be getting I magnitude as Vm divided by root 2 divided by this term, or root of R square plus omega square plus L square. What is this? This is the magnitude of the current, and the angle is some angle minus theta. Okay, so now we want to draw the phasor diagram. So we are having a overall voltage here. So you know that overall voltage is given by voltage across the resistor plus voltage across the inductor. That's what we are going to do here. So now we are taking current as reference. Now first we have to draw voltage across the resistor plus voltage across the inductor. So these two things we have to write. So we will write it here. V is equal to VR plus VL. Okay. So now the voltage across the resistor will be in phase with the voltage, because we have already seen that the voltage and current through a resistive circuit both will be in phase. So the VR can be written as, in phasor value, the VR can be written as which is in phase with the current. Okay. So we have already seen this, the voltage across the resistor and its current will be in phase. That's what we have drawn. Then if you want to have the inductor voltage, you know that the inductor voltage will be leading the current by 90 degrees. So leading the current, so you can project like this. So leading current will be in the anti-clockwise manner. So the VL you can draw like this. This is the relation between inductor voltage and inductor current, that is exactly 90 degree. Why we have moved in the anti-clockwise direction is, you know that the inductor voltage can be given by I omega L angle 90 degree. Okay, so here I omega L is the magnitude, then this angle is the 90 degree. So this is going to rotate in the anti-clockwise direction because of the plus 90 degree. So you will be getting VL here. So again, you know that V is equal to VR plus VL. This is nothing but the vector addition. So you just have the V here. Okay, so what we have done, we have taken I as a reference first. Why we have taken I as reference? Because that is the common parameter which is available in the circuit for all the elements. The same current is flowing in all the elements: voltage source, resistor and inductor. So now this is I phasor. So I phasor you represent as a phasor, that is easier to understand. I phasor you are having. Now what we need to do, we need to add the voltage. Voltage rise is equal to voltage drop, VR plus VL. Okay. So what is VR? VR is nothing but I R. I angle 0 degree into R, and this voltage can be written as I omega L angle 90 degree. Okay, so now with respect to I, it is having a 90-degree shift, and here the current is with respect to I, it is having 0-degree difference. So if we have taken I as reference, I will be coming here. This is I phasor. Then the voltage across the resistor will be in phase with the current, that is given by VR phasor. Okay, then when you are talking about VL, the VL will be 90-degree phase shifted in positive manner. So whether my screen is visible to you?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir. Yes, sir. Now it will be.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
So what I was saying is, we have taken the reference as a current phasor. So that is I. So your voltage phasor will be voltage across the resistor. That phasor will be in phase with the current, and the voltage across the inductor will be 90-degree phase shifted with respect to the current. So we'll be getting, this is VL and this is VR. Okay. Then your overall voltage will be given by V plus VR. We are doing a vector addition kind. So V can be written here. So V is equal to, or you can write it as V phasor is equal to VR phasor plus VL phasor. So that is what given here. Okay. So this is about the resistive circuit. You remember here that what is this I and what is this V. So this V is the overall source voltage, and this is the overall current which is flowing in the circuit. From this, you can understand that the voltage, the angle difference between the voltage and current is some angle theta. So what is this phasor diagram? This phasor diagram is for a series RL circuit. So when you are having a series RL circuit, this is what I told. The voltage will always lag the current, always leads current by an angle theta. Okay, for inductive circuit, we always leads the current by angle 90 degree, some angle theta, and I lags the voltage by some angle theta. Okay, that is what it is mentioned here. So same explanation, whatever I have told, it is written here. So you can go through that notes. So if you draw it as a diagram, so this is a phasor diagram. If you draw it as waveforms, so V is equal to Vm sin omega t, so that will be passing through the zero. Then I is equal to Vm divided by this and sin omega t minus tan inverse of omega L divided by R. So this is lagging the voltage by an angle theta. So this is the current waveform. Your current waveform is lagging the voltage because its zero crossing is happening after the voltage zero crossing, and the difference between these two is theta. So it is understood that the current is lagging the voltage by an angle theta degree. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can ask, else let us proceed. Mayank Gautam. Mayank Gautam. Faraz Shamim. Masura Begum.
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me what is the need of this E j omega t? What is the importance of this in phasor?
Sir, it denotes that the phasor is rotating.
How it is said like that? Why you are saying like that?
Sir, because we represent this sine wave in this phasor form. So when we represent the sine wave in phasor form, then when we when we plot the graph of the sine wave in phasor form, then the phasor appears to be rotating with the frequency omega. So we say that this is representing that the phasor is rotating.
Prachi Giri. Prachi Giri. See, again I'm saying I'm noting down whoever is responding and whoever is not responding. Okay, those who are not responding, it's not good for you. I'm telling you directly. Okay. Prachi Giri. Ravikant. Mukala Shanmuka. Mukala Shanmuga. Mukesh Kumar. Neha Nanda.
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me, if I have a capacitive circuit with a pure capacitive circuit, whether the current leads or lags the voltage?
Sorry, sir. My mic was accidentally off. Sir, in that case, the current will lead the voltage by 90 degrees, sir.
Mhm.
Should I
Okay.
explain, sir?
Tell me.
So basically, sir, when we compare the imaginary parts of both the voltage and the current, which is related by I is equal to C dV by dt, then we'll get the inductive reactance as 1 by j omega c. 1 by j can be written as 1 by j can be written as minus 90 degrees, which will then go into the numerator as 90 degrees again. So we'll get theta as 90 degrees, and then from the phasor diagram, we'll find out that the current is leading voltage by 90 degrees.
Okay. Thank you. Sachin,
Yes, sir.
just a minute. Saksham Shukla,
Yes, sir.
yesterday I called you. You did not respond. Where you went yesterday?
No, sir, you didn't call.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yesterday there was no class.
Sorry?
Sir, yesterday there was no class of electrical.
Not yesterday. Last class. Not yesterday's class. Last class.
No, sir, you have not called me.
Okay. I have noted down the names. I will see to it. Sachin,
Yes, sir.
if you are having a RL circuit in series, how will be the relation between the voltage and current from the source perspective? Whether the voltage will lead or lag.
So voltage, sir, will lead, sir, from current, sir, by an
So,
angle theta equals to, sir, tan inverse omega L by R.
okay. Okay, fine. Thank you. So let me proceed. If we want to see a problem based on what we have seen for RL circuit in series. So if the frequency is 60 hertz and the voltage magnitude is given by V is equal to 141 sin omega t is applied to a series RL circuit. So we are having a series RL circuit like this, and here this voltage is given by 141 sin omega t, and this R is 3 ohm, and this inductance is 0.0106 Henry. Okay, now what we need to find? We need to find the steady state current effective value, that is nothing but the RMS value. Then we have to find the expression for the instantaneous current, and we have to compute the effective magnitude and phase of the this is in phasor form. That's what we need to find. Okay, so V is equal to 141 sin omega t, frequency is 50 hertz. So omega is equal to 2 pi f. This frequency is 60 hertz. Frequency is 60 hertz. So 2 pi into 60. So you'll be getting 377 something. So now the source voltage which you are applying, V is equal to 141 sin omega t. V phasor is equal to V angle theta V, and this theta V is 0 because we are taking sin omega t. We are getting angle omega t plus 0 degree. So it is mentioned as V angle 0 degree. So the Z phasor is given by R plus j omega L. So this R is value is 3, and j into omega. Omega we found it as 377, that is given here. And this is L. L is nothing but 0.01106. So if you multiply this, we will be getting 4 as value here. So now this is Z4S is having a magnitude and an angle. So now this magnitude can be given by root of r square plus omega square plus L square. So that is given by 3 square plus 4 square, because this omega L itself is 4 because j omega L. So here the omega L itself is 4. So we have taken 4 square. Then this is some angle. So that angle can be given by tan inverse of omega L divided by R. Okay, so that is given by this tan inverse of 4 by 3, that is coming as 53.1 degree. So I phasor is equal to V phasor divided by Z phasor. V is equal to 100 angle 0 degree. Why it is mentioned as 100 angle 0 degree is the peak value is 141. So here we are representing in terms of RMS. So we are taking 141 by root 2. If you are taking 141 by root 2, you will be getting approximately 100. So that 100 is mentioned here. So 100 angle 0 degree. Again, this 100 is, this 0 is the sine omega t plus 0 degree. So we have got 0 degree. Then Z phasor can be given by phi angle 53.1 degree. So if you compute this, you will be getting 20 angle minus 53.1 degree. So what is this? This is 100 divided by 5 will give the magnitude, and this angle will be giving the angle difference between the voltage and current. This I is coming as 20 and the angle is coming as minus 53.1 degree, because we have taken this 53.1 to numerator. So I is coming as some positive value and this theta I is coming as minus 53.1. It's obvious from this expression that I is lagging the voltage by an angle 53.1 degree. Okay. So now what we have found the RMS current in phasor form, and we have found the angle also with respect to the voltage. So if you write the current expression from this, you know that I is equal to Im sin omega t, Im sin omega t plus theta. So now what we have found, we found this Im in terms of RMS. This is peak value. RMS we have found. So I into root 2 will be getting the RMS, and theta we have found that is coming as minus 53 degree. So you just substitute minus 53.1 degree here and Im by 20 into root 2. So you'll be getting the expression for the current. So this is as simple as that. So here we are just finding the numerical values. So one point I wanted to make you understand is, even though the Z is given as a phasor, you understand that the Z phasor is not going to rotate. Actually, the Z phasor, which is the impedance phasor that we have mentioned as a phasor, you understand one point, that it is not going to rotate. The current phasor will rotate, the voltage phasor will rotate, but you keep it in mind that the Z phasor will not rotate. Why we have mentioned like a Z phasor is, here it is going to have a magnitude and an angle. So in order to represent that it is going to have a magnitude, it is going to have a magnitude and an angle, we are mentioning it as Z phasor. So actually it is not a Z phase, even though it is mentioned as a Z phasor, this is not going to rotate. Okay, here we do not have this e power j omega t term. So here it will not rotate. It is a fixed value for any particular circuit. So if you are taking this RL circuit, for this circuit, this R and L is fixed. If the R and L is fixed, the R j omega L is fixed. So this is not going to rotate. Here you are not going to have sine. Okay, don't confuse with that. Here we don't have this rotation parameter. It is just to represent it is having both magnitude and angle. Okay, so if you have drawn the phasor diagram, we are taking I as a phasor. I is as a reference because it is a series RL circuit. So I phasor you can draw. Then V phasor, that is the voltage across the resistor. Actually we did not find it. We have the current phasor. If you have the current phasor, you just multiply with the resistor value, that is here. Resistance value is 3 ohm, so we'll be getting some value. So you note down one point here. I phasor is given by 20 angle minus 53.1 degree. Okay, and the voltage across the resistor, okay, will be given by I phasor into R. So the R is 3 ohm. So if you find VR phasor is equal to 60 angle minus 53.1 degree. Okay. So when we talked about voltage across the resistor and the current through the resistor, we told that the angle is 0 degree, right? So the point here to be noted is the voltage and the difference in angle between the voltage and current is always 0, even though the voltage is minus 53.1 degree and the current is also minus 53.1 degree. So the point to be noted here is the voltage and current angle need not to be 0, but the difference between the voltage and current angle for a resistor will be 0. Okay, so if you are having V angle something, you can have X, and I angle something you can have. So let's say that X1 and X2. So for a resistor circuit, always this x1 is equal to x2. It need not to be that x1 should be 0 and x2 should be 0. What I mean to say is, it need not to be 0. It can have some value, but it is always x1 is equal to x2 when you are talking about the voltage across the resistor and the current passing through the resistor. Okay, so the difference between this x1 and x2 is always 0. That is why we are saying that the current through the resistor will be in phase with the voltage, or in the reverse way it is true. So if you are drawing the phasor diagram, your voltage phasor will be here. Okay, so this I is having some minus 53.1 degree, some magnitude is there. Similarly, this is having some magnitude with minus 53.1 degree. Then the voltage across the inductor will be leading this current by an angle 90 degree. Okay, so this is VL. That voltage is always leads the current by 90 degree. So the source voltage will be somewhat here. So this is I phasor. Okay, so this is a vector addition. So VR plus VL is equal to V. So you can write in this fashion. So again, you can see that the overall voltage will be leading the current by certain angle theta. Here that certain angle is minus 53.1 degree. Okay, so that is the thing. So let us proceed. So here we have found this voltage across the resistor and voltage across the inductor. So this is in phasor form. This we have already calculated before, and only the magnitude is given here. You can just go through it. Okay, so this is the voltage phasor. So why I have drawn like this is, so actually I have taken 0 as a reference. So this I is lagging, this I is having minus 53 degree. So if you want to represent the minus 53 degree, you should go in anti-clockwise direction. So this is anti-clockwise direction. So this is 53 degree. Okay, so to represent this, I have drawn like this, but it is the same figure. Then this is current phasor. So then after that, I have taken 90 degree shift for the voltage across the inductor. Okay, so voltage across the inductor will be leading the current by 90 degree. So for representing that, I have represented this, nothing difference. Okay, so this is just I have tilted the previous diagram, whatever I had drawn here, I have tilted this and I have drawn in this. So I have rotated in this way, you can consider like that. Okay, nothing new in this. So let us, if you have understood, it's fine. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. I think it is already 10. We can drop the class now. If you are having any doubt, you can ask, else we can end this meeting. We'll be completing series RC and RL circuit in the next class. I mean RLC and series RLC and parallel RLC will be completing in the next class. So if you have any doubt, you can ask, else we can end this meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.